now for the Shop Report with
Barbershop Jay.
What up, sports fans? Welcome to the Shop Report. I'm Barbershop Jay. I'll be your host for the day. Here's what's happening. In what I like to call a decisive victory over Keith One-Punch Thurman, we asked the question today, is Manny Pacquiao back? In addition to some of our other boxing news. And also, in our continuing coverage of the upcoming NFL season, we preview the AFC East. But up first, in our No Sports Intended segment or portion of the P-Rogram, we ask today, what is your favorite potato chip brand / flavor? Joining me on the show today to discuss this and our other aforementioned topics is my cat from the NYC, a.k.a. Rucker Park, Brother Rich. Brother Rich, what's going on, man?
My brother, my friend, I'm always honored to be on this platform with you and everyone that's blessed to be on here with us and all our listeners as always.
Indeed. And my man from across the way, up north, should I say, Joey James, a.k.a. Double J. Tell the people what you say.
I got them both loaded, and I'm ready to roll.
Well, my gosh, that was a quick response time. That's rare for him, ain't it, Brother Rich? All right. And then last but not least, we got our own boxing insider for some of this boxing action we're going to discuss today. My cousin, I'm talking about all the way back from pro kids and non-laters, Tariq Rockmore. That's Roquemore. Reek, what's up, man?
What's happening?
It's all good. All right. So let's, as I said, start things off. Brother Rich, we'll start with you. What is your favorite potato chip brand or flavor?
Well, I hate to disappoint you, sir, but I don't eat potato chips. I know that sounds really weird. But
No,
I do not.
No, it don't necessarily sound weird. Would you eat baked potatoes? I forgot you eat nails for breakfast. I don't even know why I asked you. Hey, you know me, man. I only got 3 teeth, man. 2 in my mouth and 2 in my pocket. I said 3, didn't I? Yeah, that's senility kicking in. You know what I mean? So I'm strict. I'm regulated to cereal. I can't eat nails no more. I leave that to you, bro, Rich. You know what I mean? But you don't eat potato chips. It's all good. All right, Double J, what about you, man? What's your favorite potato chip brand / flavor?
Well, I'm going to stay with the hometown, and I'm going to go Better Made, and they're hot.
What? Oh, the Better Made is the brand.
Correct.
Ah, and the hot is the flavor?
You got it.
Okay, I disagree with that Better Made. I don't think nobody should be able to say they Better Made because there's some chips out there that's rivaling all of that. But I'll let you have that. And then to my man over on the right, all the way to the right, and again, last but not least, Rick, what's your favorite potato chip brand or flavor?
Man, I don't really need no flavors. I just like them plain.
Oh, it's all good. That's the same. I ain't mad at y'all. I'm about to give y'all mine.
Yeah.
Snyder's is my favorite brand. And they got a new Parmesan and garlic. Let me tell y'all how this went down. I won't even throw this out here today, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
I'm at the right. I'm at the gas station today, man. I'm getting some gas. Yeah, I caught that. I'm getting some gas, man. And I usually don't do this when I go in the gas, go in the gas station to get gas, like looking around and see, because, them prices at the gas station is like Rocket Mortgage field house prices, you know what I'm saying? But for whatever reason today, man, I just had to have something. I said, I'm going to try to keep it to a minimum. My pocket's kind of light and tight. So I'm looking around the little racks or whatever, and I see, they got the Snyder's Jump. They got a whole selection, but they got them off in the back of the rack. And I'm like, y'all ain't got these out front. But anyway, I'm looking through selections. They got them all sweet onion and, you know what I'm saying, sweet barbecue. I'm like, I don't know. And off in the cut, man, I see this Parmesan and garlic joint. I'm like, what? I ain't never seen this. Let me tell you right now, son, banging. Huh? And I guarantee, Double J, you're going to have to send me a case of them Better Made because I'm guaranteeing right now they better than Better Made. Holla, I'm telling you that right now, son. Yummy Sammy, yummy saying? You ain't feeling me, Double J? I'm telling you, man, they better than better made.
Yeah, I'll send you a box.
Yeah, please
Give you
do.
the variety pack.
Yeah, please do. And because my pockets is light, I'll send you a bag. How about that? Fair exchange ain't no robbery? Yeah, okay. But I'm yeah. I know. I knew you was gonna laugh at that one. Yeah, but I'm here to tell you again, man. There's nothing, and I done had them all. Snyder's, hers, and there's some Lays. You know what I'm saying? I used to be a Lays man till after a while, man. I would get the family size, you know, seeing how I got children and everything. And then at the bottom, you get towards the bottom of the bag, man, and it's all crumbs. And I was like, you know what? And then the extra salt. And I'm like, you know, I'm done with y'all, man. You know what I mean? I always liked Snyder's too, though. So I'm going strictly Snyder's. Man, when I seen that garlic parmesan today, I was like, yo, let me try these boys. Hey, man, not too salty, not too nothing else. Everything was just right, man. I was at a stoplight. I'm eating them joints on the way home. And you know, folks and they mama, everybody honking the horn at me, man, because the light been green for 15 minutes. Them boys was banging. I was done before I got to the house. But anyway, like I said, Snyder's better than better made. All right, let's talk some of this boxing. Yeah, let's get into this boxing. We asked, is Manny back after his, in my opinion, decisive victory over Keith Thurman? Now, Reek, I'm going to start with you. You are a boxing insider. You and I was on the phone the other day having this conversation about a few things boxing related. But you know, like I know, me and you been going back and forth for years. Well, as long as we've been seeing Keith Thurman, so to speak. I told you, I said, man, Thurman, he remind me of Andre Berto in a lot of ways. In that, you remember we saw Berto, when was that? USA was versus Ireland?
When he was an amateur. Yeah, when
it was
amateurs,
yeah. And I said, man, and he hit somebody, and you could hear it. And where we were sitting at, we could hear it. And the ring was kind of like, far away. I said, ooh, that dude hit hard. So he had a good showing, Berto did, and we was like, oh, we're going to be following this dude. I mean, you know, you being the boxing head that you are, you already knew all about these dudes way before I did. But as his career progressed, I was like, man, 2-3 years down the line, he ain't no different than he was when we saw him in the USA versus Ireland box off or whatever that was.
Right.
I say the same thing about Keith Thurman, man. I'm not surprised that Manny not beat him, number one, and I'm not surprised that Manny knocked him down early, even though, and I didn't see the fight night, of course, due to my occupational duties, where I work and all that good stuff, but I was able to catch it a little bit later on, and I'm saying to myself, man, even though Keith came on a little bit later on in it, I was like, man, I wasn't that impressed. And I won't use the word blind here, even though I said it, I'm not going to use that to describe this, but I'd like to know who is the judge in need of cataract surgery that scored this 114 to 113. If nothing else, it was unanimous. Reek, you got the flow. Do your thing.
Yeah, he beat him convincingly. It wasn't as close as they thought it was, but he did come back in the end rounds. But, that knockdown, and then I think it was the 10th round, he hit him to the body that he almost dropped. So, I mean...
Who hit who to the body?
Thing, Pacquiao hit Thurman.
Oh, yeah, okay. That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, he hit him to the body.
Yeah, he always...
Go ahead.
Yeah, he can't take body shots too good.
Yeah, but
he can't take body shots too good.
You talking about Keith Thurman can't take body shots too good.
Right.
Okay, but let me ask you this too then. You saw the fight night, because I texted you and asked you, what was going on. Was it boring to you, man?
Right. No, it was a real interesting fight.
You serious?
Yeah, he couldn't go nowhere. He couldn't go to the bathroom, go get no chips or nothing.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I'm glad you said chips, because you sound like Double J with that Better Made chip reference. Man, stop it. That fight was terrible. Double J, you have your say, man. You saw the fight. What'd you think?
Well, I'm not going to disagree here at all. I definitely
Oh,
feel
boy,
like
really? Wow, that's a surprise.
Candidate. No. Now, here's the thing. You got to take into consideration here regarding your scorecard that you were mentioning earlier, that Thurman did outland Pacquiao by 15 punches and landed 79 more power shots. So
really?
Again, when you get one of those, what may appear to you as an outlandish score, if being a numbers guy myself, those say a little bit of a different tale, or as to why someone might go the opposite direction.
Okay, hold on.
But again, I think that the closing moments of that first frame, really had kind of swayed everyone because Thurman up to that point kind of had controlled most of the round. So,
wait a minute. I don't even see the CompuBox numbers or whatever it is. You saying Thurman threw 79 more power shots?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you know what? You can tell us, Double J. You can. You had fight night. The new fight night is out, right? And you was left L2.
Yeah. You got to conserve some energy in there.
Yeah. 79 more power shots. Yeah. Okay, got you, Brother Rich. What you say to all of this, man?
Well, you asked the question: have Manny returned, if you will? And my response to that would be that he's never gone anywhere. And we spoke about this the last time we talked about boxing, and you read it. Yes, and here's why I'm saying that. I'm saying that in respect to we talked about in the last time we discussed boxing. We talked about the lack thereof of boxing, high-profile boxing matches, and we talked about the competition from UFC and even WWF to some point. So we talked about whether or not a person like Manny Pacquiao even had a place in the game. And some of us were discussing and made the point at that time that, of course, he does, because there's a lack of talent that will draw in the audience. And so what this showed us on this past weekend was, here comes Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather. This was the beginning of the hype for Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather Part 2, or whatever they're going to be next and following that, because that's the kind of Pacquiao needs the money, Mayweather needs the attention, boxing needs the hype, if you will, to keep its name front and center and to keep some of these big money fights, keep people being able to pay that money. So I think that's what you saw this past weekend. I think that there was a perfect setup. Pacquiao was a very aggressive fighter, and his opponent was not so much so.
See, and that's the question I have. And Rick can attest to this. I used to be a strong Manny Pacquiao supporter. Strong. But I start waning in my support for Manny Pacquiao. And it's not a dislike or nothing. When him and Floyd were supposed to get together the first time. Rick, you remember our conversations? I said timing is everything and all of that. And then it didn't help none that Marquez face planted him. Okay? Because I don't know. I guess we all forgetting about that. That didn't happen, right? Okay? I remember, I ain't saying as I'm not no boxing aficionado or nothing like that. Rick, again, is the professional here. But, some of the greats, they have. I don't know. Has Floyd ever been knocked down? I don't think so. That's interesting. But, outside.
Yeah, he's been knocked down a couple of times. But not just like flash knockdowns, not where he's been on his butt.
Yeah, and he had to get like a count or nothing like that.
As long as the glove touched the ground, then that's a knockdown.
Yeah, right. Unless it's Sweet Pea, rest his soul, because he used to touch his gloves on purpose, and you still couldn't hit him. But yeah.
Let me ask you this, though. You mentioned timing.
And this is Double J speaking, people.
Despite Thurman, kind of saying pre-fight, of course, that he was prepared for the lunging style that Pacquiao has. But after the knockdown, and he never seemed like he had Pacquiao's timing right. So are we ready to crown Manny, or was it just, hey, that first knockdown really kind of shook his judgment?
Well, if you're Keith Thurman and you went in there looking past Manny, that's your fault, number one, in my opinion. Number two, one thing that has always been true about Manny, and I believe I'm on record for saying this, and the reason why we kind of going back over this Manny, and we're going to talk about Spence and Porter too, because Tariq wasn't with us the first time. We discussed all of this. So, plus we got a little, a few more things we'd like to add. But the other thing about Manny that's true is, and in my own words, his punches and the angles in which he throws punches from, they're incongruent. That's one thing that's always been true about the guy. You know what I mean? And Thurman is more of a conventional guy. When I call him one punch, because I rarely see him. He don't have the polish that Manny had. That's for sure. You get what I'm trying to tell you? But does that say more about Manny? You know, because Thurman really didn't. He looked overmatched to me, despite the perceived action. You know, Double J, I sent you the and Brother Rich, you gotta check this out too. You seen the Facebook post I sent you, Rick? I sent it to you too about the judge who stopped the fight and the guy who was slipping all the punches.
Oh boy!
Yeah, exactly. For all my Facebook followers out there, go check that out. I sent it to a whole bunch of people. This is what I mean, man, about perception, man. I mean, I don't knock Manny, but man, he got to fight Bud or somebody like that. Do that to Bud, okay? Then or go back and do it to Marquez if he's still fighting. You know what I mean? You know, doing that to Keith Thurman, Keith Thurman ain't no Winky Wright. He ain't no Vernon Forrest wrestler, so he ain't no none of that, man. You know? Yeah, I mean, he better than me. He got gloves on. I ain't mad at him, but by boxing standards,
well,
I'm not impressed. But again,
speaking of Bud,
we're getting to that. We're getting to that. Slow down, Double J. You're moving a little bit fast. I know you got a convertible drop top Mustang 2.912, but just slow down for a minute. We're getting to that. Okay, all right. So I mean, the invert is Manny's back. Everybody on the panel here, outside of myself, is in agreement that Manny's back, right?
Right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, then let me ask this then. Who's his next fight, Brother Rich?
Mayweather.
I had to ask you that
because Floyd. All it is.
Okay. I mean, I had to say it again. I had to ask again because I wasn't sure I had to check twice, measure twice, cut once. All right. Double J, who's Manny's next fight?
I'm actually going to go with Spence.
Yeah, okay. That's a little bit more like it. Rick, who's Manny's next fight?
I would say Sean Porter, winner of Sean Porter, that Spence fight.
So you really think that's going
to unify the belt?
I was just going to say, so you really think that's going to play out the way boxing is supposed to play out? Is that what you're saying?
That's what I would like to see.
Oh, okay, yeah. Emphasize.
Mayweather is retired, but he's going to come back for something.
Oh, shucks. You in agreement with Brother Rich? I mean, to his credit, Brother Rich done made a couple calls, man, that then, he 25-2. You know what I'm saying? So, his record is strong. You know what I mean? I just don't see it happening. You know what I mean? But he's right, though. Floyd do like attention. And from what I'm hearing, Manny do need the money, so we'll see. And speaking of Spence, we discussed this already, of course, but again, my man Reek wasn't here. That whole Spence, Sean Porter. Now, I just saw a quote from Spence a couple of days ago, I believe, and he said something to the effect that he not looking past Sean Porter. You know what I mean? In other words, he'd say, I got to have my A game. Reek, what you say to that?
Spence is pretty good. Like Roy Jones said, he hasn't really fought anybody yet. Mike Garcia is good, but he was 2 weight classes down, so that really didn't count. It's like picking on a little guy.
Okay.
But yeah, I like to see this fight. Sean Porter is a pretty solid guy, but I think he would be better if he had another trainer. He needs to fire his father and get a real trainer. He'd be a lot better.
Whoa. You really think so, huh?
Yeah.
I'm so glad you said that. I love it.
But you know what, too? I'm going to say this about Spence, man. And I like Spence. But I know Sean Porter. I'm trying to say personally. I know Sean personally. And we objective here. So, again, let me point out, yes, I do have a slight bias. I'm rolling with Sean on this one. But at the same time, let me spell out just a couple reasons why. I don't recall a time ever when I talk about guys, and I should have mentioned his name. Has Sean Porter ever been knocked down? You ever seen Sean knocked down, Rick? I don't. I mean, I haven't seen all his fights.
No.
So, yeah, I ain't seen him been knocked down or knocked out.
Mm-mm.
Now, there are many who say Sean is not as polished a boxer or with his hands that like a Barrera, and Marco Antonio Barrera, or, anybody else you can think of that you might consider to have quote-unquote hands. But I'll say this about Sean. He don't stop coming. You better have done ate your oatmeal and some nails for breakfast messing with this dude, man. You're going to know you've been in one, as you should, or as should be the case in any sporting contest or event from both sides. That's got to be the mantra. You're going to know you've been in one. If you beat me, it's only two options. I win, or if I don't win, you're going to wish I had a won. You see what I'm saying? Now, Rick, you were saying something else about Spence. Go ahead. Okay, go ahead. What was you going to say?
Yeah, I said I believe it'd take a guy like Terrence Crawford to beat Spence, because he's more like a Mayweather. He know how to figure you out.
Bud.
Sean Porter,
Yeah, you saying Bud Crawford? Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Spence, he's good, and he comes in at you, but he don't have a plan B or nothing. He just a one-dimensional fighter. He just comes to attack. He don't know how to regroup, or he take the same shots. He don't know how to mix it up. So you have to have a good trainer to know how to watch his fights and know how to make him go to the other side, and back him up a little bit. Once he start backing up, he don't know how he don't know nothing.
You talking about Spence?
Right.
Yeah. So once you start backing him up, then he don't have no recourse. He not really prepared for that. Is that what you're saying?
Right. Yeah, he just come at you and throw.
So he almost kind of like a De La Hoya, then kind of robotic in some ways.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, he's like a De La Hoya.
Brother Rich, what you say to all of that, man? This Spence and Hole Porter thing. Part 2.
Ben.
He just won't work.
And you turned me on to these fighters because you made me, because of your relationship and your understanding of where they come from, pay attention to them. And so it becomes, I actually disagree with your cousin. I agree with Tariq and what he was saying, and just watching them and certainly not being, even being able to recognize what I'm necessarily looking at. You can look at Spence and see there's a little more finish and a little more polish there.
Yeah, got you. What about you, Double J?
Well, my concern right now is two things. Sean has a lot of confidence in his ability to win this fight. In case you guys don't know, they did run into each other last week at a restaurant, in which case, there's been some questions about Spence's weight. And so that's my second concern. So looking at it from both sides right now, I'm a little torn, because confidence can be taken as arrogance. Doesn't sound like Sean has much of the game plan set yet. And then again, getting your body back in shape is everything. And so, we're not that far away here. We're just a few weeks. So
what were you saying? Finish that thought.
That's a cause of concern for me.
Yeah, got you. All right. Well, Sean Porter, Earl Spence Jr., September 28th. Yeah. I don't know, man. It's kind of a toss-up to me. As I said, just a bit ago, in Spence's comments about, I'm not, because usually, pre-fight, Spence's usually, he don't really talk smack, whatever it is, because he's not that, he's almost like a Kawhi Leonard, too, in a lot of regards. He's kind of low-key type guy, at least from what I see. But, there's been a time or two where he had a few things to say, and what done came out of his mouth so far, about this one, is kind of, contrary to what he said, in a few other cases. So we'll see. I look forward to. What were you going to say? That you saying something, Rick?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing this one, if I can. What I mean? Might have to use some doggone PTO. What's next here? Oh, yeah, let me double check. I'm going to stay with you on this one, this next one here. What exactly? Because I'm hearing a lot of yarn and a lot of blah, 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 yakety, yakety, yakety about Loma. What exactly has Lomachenko done to be so highly regarded as best pound for pound? I mean, I know we talked about this, but I keep hearing it, and I keep hearing folks try to explain it. But in the end, like I said, it sounds blah, blah, blah. And I hate to tune people out, but, it happens when you're talking nonsense, Double J.
Well, again, he doesn't run from anyone. He has a style similar to Triple G. Again, being near that part of the globe, it seems like that's the type of fighters that are coming out from that area. And with that being said, the guy is not just not afraid of anyone, but he's laying them out in the process. So he's not, for the most part, not leaving it up to any kind of decisions, if you will. He's making slight work of these guys, and that's why, we're really, I would say, that the general population is excited about what he can do and who he might come up against next.
Yeah, I think, too, a lot of America or the boxing public want him to be what Joe Calzaghe was. Not gonna happen. Hey, no discredit to the guy. Yes, he's a good fighter. Whatever the noise is in the background, please. Hey. Hello, whoever's making the noise. All righty, I appreciate you. I can hear all of that. Thank you very much. Yeah, as I was saying, man, Loma, man, he's not. I mean, is it him or is it his competition? You know what I mean? The guy had, 6.5 fights? I'm being cynical. Or the equivalent to, and he's the best pound for pound? When clearly, if nobody else, Bud done been in more challenging fights, okay? And shucks, I'll even throw my man Danny Garcia in there because I said that once before. If anybody is deserving of being best pound for pound, if not Spence, who I had said before, Garcia and Bud for sure. They've had some serious knockdown dragouts. You know what I mean? So what is it that qualifies you for being best pound for pound now? You know what I mean? Having 9.5 fights. No, I just said that from 6.5. And then beating everybody. And then, what? I with all due respect, man, the way his fans go on and on about him, like I said, man, they want him to be Joe Calzaghe or something. Now, Joe had hands, okay? And we all remember that Joe Calzaghe and and Jeff Lacey. Man, don't get me started on that. Brother Rich, what you say? What's Loma's whole deal for being best pound for pound? Why everybody keeps singing his praises?
I think it's exactly what Jay alluded to. He's coming from a market where people are pushing him. I think that's what you got. He's coming from a market where it's a typical, type of fighter. Somebody said HGH, it wasn't me. And they produce a certain style of fighter, and so people either root for them or very strongly against them. And there's a lot of Eastern European angst in the country and throughout the world right now. And so having him as a professional fighter in the sport of boxing, as the reigning, defending champion and the person who everyone can kind of focus on for a moment to perhaps produce a fight or two, yeah, I think that's where we're going with that. Absolutely.
Rick,
there's a lot of hype. That's a Bob Arum fighter.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Rick, what about you, man? Why is Loma so highly regarded as best pound for pound?
I'll say I can't say. I mean, he's a good fighter. He is that. Like you say, only had about 12 fights, so he definitely shouldn't be listed as on the pound for pound list yet. But I believe we all know why he's that.
What you say? What's already understood need not be explained.
Yeah, he's good though.
Yeah, he is. I'm not saying he's not good, but see, when you say best pound for pound, again, you've been in the boxing game for what? Ever since you was 2, 3? You know what I mean? And then kicked it with Layla Ali and Johnny McClain and who's some of the other fighters that you sent out to Vegas with them, man? Just name a few.
I don't know if you guys heard of Ronnie Johnson, but he's pretty good. He's
I have
kind of like promoting now.
Yeah, Ronnie Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah, you the reason why he out there.
Promoter now?
Yep.
I even sparred with Pernell Whitaker when he was in Atlanta. Him and Holyfield, they went to the Olympics together, so Holyfield used to bring him he used to come to Atlanta a lot of times and come to the gym. So I got in the ring and sparred with him a couple times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my man. Hey, you was on a right quick. You was on an episode of In the Heat of the Night too, wasn't you?
Yeah. They had a little boxing scene on that.
And that was you in the ring?
Came to the gym and we just sparring with my boy Curtis.
Yeah, I forgot. That's right, Curtis was. I forgot Curtis was doing his thing. So I'm saying, man, you know, that's why we got you here. You the boxing insider. Loma is good, man. I'm not knocking that he good or whatnot, man. But in all your years in expertise and experience when it comes to boxing, man, can you name another fighter, or have you seen a case where another fighter had the least, as maybe in the case with Loma, and been considered pound for pound?
No, maybe De La Hoya. You know, he was a golden boy.
Yeah, he probably the only one. And even he got a more legit case to me in this case than Loma. Because pound for pound is like saying, I don't know, shucks, you know what I mean? Oscar worthy or something or another. It's a high regard. You get what I mean? It's more so than the MVP in basketball and all. It's just a high regard, man. I just don't. And it might sound to some like I'm smashing him and knocking him. I'm really not, man. It's the whole pound for pound thing. That's what's getting me. And it's a few other fighters out there. Go ahead.
We'll see how good he is when he fights. I said we'll see how good he is when he fights Tank Davis.
I was going there next. You doing the same thing Double J doing. See, you taking Double J's spot now. Double J is always the one running to the front of the line. Slow down there, Kemosabe. Speaking of Tank, now that you done brought it up, in my opinion, it seemed like, man, Tank getting little to no love. And it's been said now that he gonna fight. His next fight is Tevin Farmer. If he fight Tevin Farmer, Tank Davis, will that change the perception about, as far as Tank is concerned, man? Will he get more love after that, or do he have to fight Loma?
Yeah, he probably have to fight Loma, but Tank. I mean,
Tevin
Farmer, he's good, but he's not that good. Yeah, he's not that good. I like to see him fight Shakur Stevenson. Now he's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, man. I don't think there's no comp out there for Tank, man. Unless he move up.
Oh, and they got this other guy, Devin Hangley. He's pretty good too.
Yeah, even still. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I haven't heard of the last two guys you mentioned. I don't think there's no comp out there for Tank, man.
Oh, no?
Nope. Unfortunately, I don't get.
Check out Shakur Stevenson.
All right, fellas, y'all heard that? Shakur Stevenson and Devin Hanley.
I have not.
No. Oh man, he's a draw.
Really? Yeah, but you know what? Too.
You put me up on something. I'm not into boxing like that. I only speak on what I know, so I stay in my lane.
Yeah,
right.
It's all
we check those two guys out, man. Devin Hanley and Shakur Stevenson. They're the truth.
Really?
Okay, cool.
Really? And you think they
just as good as Devin Hanley? I mean, just as good as Tank.
No way. See, Rick,
I'm trying to tell you.
Rick, man, see, you be starting stuff, man, and we on a national televised program.
Floyd was trying to sign. Floyd was trying to sign
Shakur
Stevenson, but he said, "No, I ain't fooling with you. I'll make my own name. I don't need you to put me out there. I'm gonna put myself out there."
I know that's right. Get yours, young fella. Entrepreneurship. Yeah, I'm all for it, baby. But yeah, ain't nobody on Tank's level right now, man. Not even Loma. That's
I'm trying to tell you.
All right. Well,
Shakur Stevenson is.
Yeah, you know what, Rick? You always throwing a monkey wrench into something. Before we
and James, only you know, I ain't just saying it because his last name is Stevenson.
Yeah, for all of y'all out there, we got folks on our family side, on the other side of the family, man. Their last name is Stevenson, so that's why he's saying that. Yeah, I still say ain't no comp out there for my man Tank unless he fight Loma. And again, that ain't really much comp either. But before I get Double J's thoughts on that, Rick, when we was on the phone, you mentioned something about fighters going up in weight. Why it's important for fighters to go up and not necessarily come down. You remember what we talked about? You want to share that with everybody?
Well, I was just saying, a lot of fighters, they be up already in weight, and then they try to drain themselves a little bit to fight in a lower weight class, because they be heavier and stronger than the lighter person.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a lot of what Errol Spence doing. I believe he should be like fighting at 154 instead of 47.
Yeah. Go ahead and finish.
They don't call him the weight bully for nothing.
Oh, right. I didn't even know that. Really, Double J, did you know that they call him Spence the weight bully?
Yep, absolutely. I love the idea there. Let's see what happens with Canelo, who's willing to take these risks, if you will. And that's the key word there when you talk about making these moves. Is ultimately, you take an L, and that's your bread and butter and your legacy.
Yeah. Speaking of legacy, I wonder what Loma's going to be after Tank whoop on him. Sorry about that. Got a little excited, fellas. You understand what I'm saying, baby? Yeah. Tank about to, he about to get that boy a new zip code. Mark my words.
Got to check Shakur Stevenson. He just had a fight, too, and knocked the dude out.
All right. So, Shakur, you telling me right now, Reek, is talking to my cousin again, Tariq Rockmore, Roquemore, the boxing specialist here on the show. You telling me if Shakur Stevenson fights Tank Davis, you saying right here, right now on this nationally televised program, in my mind, that Shakur will beat Tank Davis. That what you telling me?
It would be it would be a good fight. You wouldn't know who's going to win. It might be a draw.
Oh, well, boxing don't need no more of those.
Or somebody going to get knocked out, one or the other.
Oh, man, you making big prognostications over here. Are you really down for Shakur? Well, I got to check him out then. Give me a chance to check him out, and then I might change my thoughts on Tank Davis. But until then, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to happen, man. You know what I mean? And that whole deal about fighters moving up in weight, because I'm with you. Spence should be fighting at a heavier, at a higher, because the whole point, the higher weight class, the whole point is moving up. You know what I mean? Like what was Double J? You might remember this. What was Hearns? What did Tommy Hearns? What did he start out as? Flyweight, featherweight.
Yeah, I was going to say either. Yep.
Probably lightweight. Because when him and Sugar Ray Leonard first fought, they probably was lightweight or a welterweight. But when they fought again, it was probably at middleweight.
Oh, yep. Sure enough. Brother Rich, I'm going to ask you. You think Hearns and Hagler could withstand what's going on in the fight game today?
Oh, without a doubt.
Classics.
Without a doubt.
Classics, wasn't it?
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah. And you know why?
Without a doubt.
Because those guys back then, is another point for old school, they made sure, whether it was the promoters or not, if I want to fight you, I'm going to fight you. I'm telling y'all, I cannot do a show, especially when we're talking this subject, without mentioning the fact it's too much time in between championship or fights worthy of our viewership. Double J, do you agree or disagree with that statement I just made?
150% agree. They leave us hanging on it. If we were to hold our breath, well, I'll see you in the afterlife.
Egads, man. Egads. What madness is this? You're agreeing with me? Oh, my gosh. The world is indeed coming to an end. I just saw a polar bear, too, the other day. What are you doing so far down from the north? Yeah. Did anybody?
Yeah, these guys only fighting two times a year now.
Yeah, that's see what I'm saying? See what I'm talking about? But yet and still you want to charge Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao pay-per-view type monies. Man, nobody got time for your Rocket Fork Mortgage Fieldhouse prices. Yeah. Did anybody see the Gamboa over Rocky Martinez, Brother Rich?
No, sir.
Double J?
I caught the highlights of that one.
Highlights. Rick, did you see it? The Gamboa and Rocky?
Yes, I seen the highlights.
Okay, would you please tell everybody before I even go into this one, who I'm a fan of, out of those two names I just mentioned?
Gamboa.
Yorkis Gamboa, the young Mike Tyson, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, slow down there. I was a fan of Ike Biabuchi too. I know this weight classes is light years apart, but Ike brought the. Y'all better look him up. If you don't know who Ike Biabuchi was, he was a heavyweight for Rio. He would have changed. Ooh man, can you imagine Ike Biabuchi and Mike Tyson? That's a story for another day. But yeah, Yorkis Gamboa. Give y'all a little rundown on that. Man, he put Rocky Martinez. Yeah, he did in the second round, man. When I say knock out, he knocked him out. But here's the killer part, though. And Rick, you and I done had this conversation before. Gamboa has got 30-1 or 30-3 or something like that. I think it's 30. I know he got 30 wins. I can't say that again.
I know, but
he's 30-2 with 18 knockouts.
Right, and that's where I was going. So Rick, you fill us in on this whole thing because you said this about Floyd Mayweather more than once. The knockout to win ratio, does that concern you about Gamboa?
Say that again?
The knockout to win or wins ratio, does that concern you about Gamboa?
No, not really. Gamboa, he's good, but did you see what happened when he really stepped up and when he fought Terrence Crawford?
No, I didn't. What? Gamboa fought Bud?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's where one of his losses came from.
Oh, I'm slipping. Oh man, I didn't see that. Wow.
Man, he knocked him down probably about 3 or 4 times.
What? Double J, you didn't tell me this? Really?
Yeah.
You had me come on the show and talk about this, and you didn't tell me this ahead of time? This is what I'm talking about. See, I mean, you and Brother Richard in cahoots, man. I can see it now.
What's understood doesn't need to be said, I thought.
No.
That's a good one. That's a good one, Double J.
Oh, Brother Rich. That's how we doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That was a good. I can't lie. That was a good one.
Yeah. Ever since you and and you too, huh? Ever since you and Double J got together and talked about y'all going to the Browns Super Bowl parade and I can't come. Y'all been best buddies ever since. But it's cool though. I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? Somebody gonna get the bell or get muted on this next one. So Reek, what you telling me here again? Back to you. You telling me that Gamboa ain't worth the pay-per-view going forward? Because again,
no, he was. He
go ahead.
I said he was at one time. I don't think so now. He's on his way out.
Oh man,
even with his good performance that he had.
Man, Rocky Martinez ain't no slouch though.
Well, I'm not really sure.
No, you're not sure about Rocky? Rocky ain't no slouch.
Nah, he can't beat no Shakur Stevenson or nobody like that. Tank Davis.
Yeah. All right. Well, so you saying Gamboa's knockout was just what, window dressing almost?
Yeah. They said Floyd said that he's gonna get Tank to fight Gamboa next.
No. Brother Rich, would you like to see that? Would you like to see Tank and
do I like what?
Would you like to see Tank Davis and Gamboa go at it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, see what I'm saying?
Why not?
Yeah.
And because these are the kinds of fights that boxing needs in order to, and this is why you all were talking about it earlier, why they're only fighting once or twice a year, because where are the fights? How do we not? Why don't we know about Shakur Stevenson like Tariq is telling us? It's because these fighters are not getting promoted. We're not having enough of these kind of fights where they're fighting at these weights, and we're learning about newer fighters. This is what's wrong with boxing. It's not being marketed properly. I seldom see, again, I confess, the only social media platform I participate in is Twitter, but nevertheless, I seldom see fights for somebody like a Shakur Stevens or some of these names that Tariq is mentioning or you're mentioning, because we don't know these people on a day-to-day basis. We know the ones who are actively promoted, and so they can go and say they're fighting for the Arams and the this one and the that one, and they're being promoted. Yeah, we need fights like that to get people back into the game itself.
Well, I don't disagree with that. Double J, you want to weigh in on that too? I'm with you on that, though, at that point, Brother Rich. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to double down on his point regarding why we're not here. There's not enough outlet. Unfortunately, despite all these promoters, you don't hear enough about everyone else, especially those, unfortunately, that are trying to make, as you stated earlier, trying to create their own name. Now, regarding the fight between Tank, I think it's a good one because this is someone that can, in Gamboa, that we know can knock someone out if you take him lightly. As we saw in this past fight, he still has it. He still has some speed there, and there's still something left in the tank. So, this could very much be dare I say, like a trap for Tank in his future, but certainly, at the very least, a true quality opponent. Yeah,
because, and that's a good point. But going back to you right quick, Rick, and the reason why I mentioned the knockouts to win ratio. Remember, we was having a conversation about Floyd, and you was like, man, Floyd's sweet, no question, but he ain't got no knockout power. You know what I mean? He only how many knockouts Floyd got? He don't even have, less than 20?
He probably about 24, 27, maybe.
You know what I mean? And in a lot of cases, if you ain't got no knockout power, if your knockout ratio to the wins is some distance in between them, you suspect or you susceptible, should I say? You know what I mean? Susceptible to something like that.
But see, that's the reason why the game is to stay low. When he was fighting in the lower weight class, when he was fighting Angel Man Freddy and a couple other guys, can't think of it, Arturo Gotti, he's knocking those guys out. But once he started stepping up in weight, the knockout ratio started dropping. Just like what's the guy from Cincinnati?
Oh, you got me.
Paul
Wood? Not you talking about Paul Williams?
Just trying to be like Floyd.
Broner?
Adrian Broner, yeah. He when he was fighting at a lower weight class, he was knocking those guys out. But once he stepped up, started losing and not knocking people out.
Yeah.
Now he's forced to go. Now he's forced to go back down because he can't compete with these bigger guys.
Well,
but when you seen like Sweet Pea, he was like, bump this. I'm going up. I want to go up and let you know how good I am.
Yeah. And that's really the true mark or true tell of a guy that's really is what everybody say he is. You got to go up. So, I mean, I hate to say that about my boy Gamboa, but, if you can't handle the heat, then you got to stay up out of the kitchen. And which brings me back to Loma again, Double J. When is he going to go up in weight classes?
I don't see it happening.
Exactly.
Unless he's conquered it where he's holding some silverware and wants to try, that's his next challenge. Is the only thing he can do.
Yeah.
But until then, to get 2-fight ratio, per year, I don't foresee it happening for maybe 3 years.
Oh, don't say that.
Yeah, but he's a little guy too, though. He got a little frame, so he can't go but so high.
Oh, that's a good point, too. Yeah. If your frame can't handle the weight, you ain't no need in going past that point, so to speak. All right, that's a good point. All right, fellas, last one for boxing, and I think this is a very interesting one. Double J, you and I are on Facebook, of course. Rick, you too, yeah, And every now and again, well, not every now and again, it seemed like every 5 minutes, I should say, you see these dream scenarios, regardless of the sport, right? Would this guy beat that guy? And, we didn't kind of talked and touched on all of this stuff before. But I got to thinking, man, because somebody put a post up of Mike Tyson, and I forget what the caption was. And I think my response was the heavyweight. Oh, it was about the heavyweight division. And I was like, man, if Mike Tyson was in the heavyweight division today, would everything stay the same? And Mike Tyson, especially Mike Tyson in his prime, was in this heavyweight. The rest of the heavyweight division should file for contraction. Wouldn't nobody want to fight this dude except for Deontay Wilder. So I'm asking you all, and Double J, I'll start with you on this one. Would a Mike Tyson, Deontay Wilder be a bigger pay-per-view draw than what was Floyd and Manny, which in my estimation, again, and I love to reiterate and regurgitate, was an overpriced sparring match? Double J?
Oh, without a doubt. In today's society, with, again, all these different outlets for us to watch this, the additional promotional route that could be taken, and you're talking about a guy that was getting $100 million for a fight in the mid-'90s. He would, of course, shatter that record times two.
Yeah, I think so too. But I think it would be because, again, I don't think Wilder's a polished fighter at all. But that it ain't got nothing much to do with whether or not if you're willing. And if you're willing, and I think he would, if nobody else, he would be willing to get in the ring with Mike Tyson. But, and when I say a prime Mike Tyson, I'm talking about the Tyson who was fighting under Cuss and Kevin Rooney's number system, quote unquote. You know what I mean? Where they would yell out the number and Tyson knew what to throw. Woo, that Tyson was dangerous. Like my man Baker Mayfield, dog pound. Brother Rich, where was you at on that one, buddy? Where was you at, buddy? But Mike, man, it'd be okay. Well, Double J, put a price on it. What would the pay-per-view? What would the number be if Floyd and Manny was 99, 99, 99, 99, 99, 99, 99, 95? What would Wilder and Tyson be?
I'm going to say in the range of 129 to 149.
Dang, I said 125, Rick. I told you, Brother Rich. What you say? What would that be a bigger pay-per-view draw?
I can't disagree with anything y'all are saying.
Yeah,
I can't disagree with y'all saying in the sense that, man, right now with the lack of big money fights, I compared to when Tyson fought Lennox Lewis, and I know how big that was. So I in this modern era, I would definitely easily say 125, 130. I would have even go as high as saying some markets they could get 150.
Oh, I was Rick. I told you, Rick. So who you? Okay, so it's on. You think it would be a bigger pay-per-view draw? Way bigger?
Yeah, it'd be about that.
About what? 130, 120, 150?
Yeah, it might be 150. But like I say, style make fights. Tyson probably would knock him out, but he probably would have a harder fight with Fury.
Man, stop it. Man, you love throwing curveballs, even when we on the phone, man. Stop doing that, man. Hold on. Okay, Brother Rich, Double J, you heard what he said now, right? And when
yeah, we heard it.
Okay. So, Rick, so I ain't crazy. You telling me Mike Tyson would have a tougher time with Fury than with Wilder?
Because he's a little awkward, and you see how Wilder he beat Fury, but they gave it a draw.
Yeah, that
only
was
because he knocked him down 2 times.
Yeah. Oh well, and that do say a lot too, though. Because a lot of times when you knock a guy down 2 times, it's decisive. You know what I mean? Whoever the victor is, you get what I mean? But for you to knock a guy down 2 times and only get a draw out of it, that is very telling as well. I'm with you on that. But, man, Mike, we talking about Mike Tyson, man, in his prime.
Yeah, Yeah.
Not the Mike Tyson that lost to Buster Douglas, who did drop Buster Douglas, by the way. I'm still, I'm looking at that count thing as I did the, Spygate, Deflategate, and the Tuck rule. Excuse me, but sorry about that. Yeah.
If he would have knocked him down once, then you know how that turnout would have became.
No, I don't. Tell me.
He would have lost.
Oh, all right. You saying he would? No, they was.
I mean, in the judge's eyes.
Okay, got you. All right, yeah.
He beat him more. He beat him more than that. It wasn't even a draw for real.
So you saying Fury got robbed?
No, I'm saying Wilder got robbed.
Oh, okay. Wilder got robbed.
How you drop a guy 2 times and then come up with a draw?
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. But see, that's boxing.
See, and a lot of time, what you guys were saying earlier, Double J, about how Keith Thurman punch ratio was higher, but that really don't mean nothing because what it is you have to win the rounds. And Pacquiao dropped him once. So even if Thurman beat him 6 rounds, then he still would have lost. So he could have had punched him the outcome of the percentage more. But if you win more rounds, that's what the judges is going on the rounds, not the percentage of the punches.
I don't disagree with that. I was shedding a little bit of light as to why it wasn't unanimous.
Okay.
And ultimately, how some judges may, and potentially this could be a good question for all of you guys as well, as you just pointed out, Reek, are we overvaluing knockdowns?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Hold on. I'm going to ask that,
right.
Brother Rich. Are knockdowns overvalued, Brother Rich, you think, in today's fight game? Even with the 1 or 2, 3 fights you probably saw?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I mean, it's the sport of boxing. I mean, those are how we secure technical points, if not anything, as an element of the game. And, it's to get that individual off his balance and knock that individual down. So how can that be overrated in any segment? I could see that certain circumstances, a person obviously slips or a glancing blow and you caught me at the wrong angle.
Stepped on my toe.
But in generalities,
hold on, Double J. Hold on. Let him finish his thought.
Okay, go ahead.
Certainly, those things happen, and we've seen that. We've all noticed that and said that's not a real knockdown. But that's why you have a guy in the ring. That third man is there to make sure. And those people on the side are there looking at that to make sure that they score that properly. But a genuine knockdown, when you got somebody where you really you knock that guy down, I think that the benefit of that even is for the person who's knocked down, because to see a person knocked down and then get up and come back and win again and fight through that and come back and win the fight, that is something too. Part of what makes boxing the game that we love.
Such the allure, yeah. That still has us clinging, hanging on. Go ahead, Double J. What were you going to say?
Well, and that was just it about it being scored appropriately, because again, not all knockdowns are the same, as Brother Rich just pointed out. And again, so I'm going to speak on that in a general sense, simply because if you win 10 of the majority of the rounds, but yet you have this knockdown, we'll say a legitimate one that happened early on in the fight, no different than what you saw just the other night here. Is that really validating as a win? And so it was just, I just want to play devil's advocate on this one.
Okay.
Simply because, again, you're talking about numbers versus, again, knockdown.
That's fair. And all points are fair. But at the end of the day, I'll say this. We need more fights. We need to see more fight-worthy, viewership-worthy, battle-tested, contested. You get my drift. We need to see more. This 2 times a year stuff or whatever it is leaves it's too open-ended. You know what I mean? This leaves it too open for interpretation about this and that and maybe and how come and whatnot. You know what I mean? What happened to the trilogy? That's what we need to see. We need to see the trilogy. And one last thing on Mike Tyson before we move on to some AFC East action. Now, I don't know how true this is, but I saw this on Facebook and I thought it was kind of slick. So I would say, speaking of Tyson, I guess somebody asked him if he was a changed man. His response was, yeah, I'm a changed man until I find the dude that stole my pigeons 43 years ago. Hey, man. You got to love Mike Tyson, man. The dude is a character, man. I'm so glad for that he didn't, sort of like reinvented himself, man. My dude, Mike Tyson, man. That's my ace, boom, cool, man. You know what I mean? Don King until Don King happened. Yeah. All right, switching gears. We're going to finally get into some of this football.
Only in America.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we're going to finally get into some of this football action. And here we are at our AFC East preview. Now, we already went through the AFC North, the South, and the West. And the AFC East, we already know that it's a foregone conclusion, as many might say, that the Patriots are division champs already, even though training camp ain't over. But I'm going to ask you, Double J, I'll start with you on this one. Can the Patriots, or should I say, how will the Patriots replace Gronk?
Oh, that's the $1 million question there. The real answer, however, is that they can't. You look at that system that they've had and what he had created by forcing both linebackers and safeties alike to not only respect, because you couldn't go one-on-one as you could with the majority of tight ends in the league regarding linebackers. So you had to force safety help over the top. And that, of course, leaves a lot of one-on-ones. So in addition to that, you had key receivers in the slots, and that's where those underneath plays, why they were always open. And then, of course, when you would see guys, it was insert player here that would beat them over the top. Everyone from Chris Hogan to Danny Amendola, who are far from household names, that, it was because of the presence of Rob Gronkowski.
Yeah, and you know what? He was a high – he did – make it so that the other team's coordinator, defensive, of course, had to really maybe burn a little bit more of that midnight oil trying to figure out just how to deal with him. So he had that kind of impact for sure. But, Rick, I'm going to ask you, I know boxing is your thing, but, we do football too. We grew up in the household with football and baseball and the whole nine.
Right.
I mean, Gronkowski was a big boy. So if the Patriots don't replace him, do you think they repeat as AFC East champions?
Man, that's an American team. They're gonna always find a way to get up in there.
No, by all accounts, man, I'm here to tell you right now, they stand right. They still saying that the Cowboys are America's team, but guess who's a close second? Actually, in some cases, they first. The dog pound. Brother Rich, it's on you. Can the Patriots replace Gronk?
Well, I mean, we had a comment on the dog pound now, but let's keep going. We'll save that for another time. No, the Patriots cannot replace Gronk. I don't think the Patriots will have to replace Gronk. I, like so many people, believe that he is going to make a reappearance sometime within the upcoming month and make one last run with them. I don't believe that they're going to replace him because I don't believe that they can, nor will they need to.
Oh, okay. Double J, this one's for you.
Can't spell team with an I.
What you say, man?
I say you can't spell team with an I.
Uh-huh.
He's not just the only one on the team.
Yeah.
Fact.
Yeah, true that. Double J, Sam Darnold, Josh Allen, Josh Rosen, excuse me. Which one of the three plays a large role in turning around this team's fortunes into a contender this season? Or is it even possible that any of the three can?
Well, for Buffalo, unfortunately, no. They have. It's going to be, Josh Rosen, but it's a bad situation.
Yeah, I say that too. Reek, I'm gonna throw this one at you. A legit division, and we're talking again AFC East winner, not named the Patriots, is who? So it's either the Bills, the Jets, or the Dolphins. Other than the Patriots, who really got a legit shot at maybe winning the division?
Maybe with the Bills.
Yeah, he said no. I doubted the Bills. Nah, I personally think. Well, you know what though? Josh Rosen. Allen. I liked him coming out of college before the Browns drafted Baker Mayfield. Actually, to tell you the truth, I thought he was pretty good at Wyoming. So we can see. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not saying he know John Elway, but there's some people out there saying, look what Elway did. Again, not comparing him to Elway, but just what Elway did. Elway was able to get the Broncos to 422 Super Bowls before he got Terrell Davis in order to win one. So we'll see. But I personally think it's going to be the Jets, to be honest with you. Double J, what you say? Other than the Patriots, who could?
I'm going to double down. Yeah, we say no more. It would be the Jets. You're talking about year 2 with Sam Darnold. In the addition of Le'Veon Bell, who has already came out and told fantasy owners he apologized, which, again, he has zero reason to do that to the common man. However, he chose to do it and said, on top of that, a bold prediction that he will carry them to the fantasy football championship. And so he is definitely on my radar as well.
Yeah, and to add to that, I'm going to tell you right now why I think it'll be the Jets. Mark my words. Let me repeat. Mark my words. Adam Gase, new Jets head coach, of course, he will utilize Le'Veon Bell with Sam Darnold the way Hugh Jackson should have used Crowell with Kizer. And I'm not saying by any stretch of the imagination. Let me clear. Hold it. I knew you was gonna have something to say, Double J. That's why I said could you let me finish? There you go. You jumping on your market, set, go. You just want to run the race. You just want to run the race, right? Okay, go. Bye. See you. You got your fast shoes on. Pew. I'm saying only in terms of when you got a young quarterback or a quarterback who's still trying to acclimate himself to the NFL game, speed, size of the lineman, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We all know, and we've said this before, he's best served by having somewhat of a running game behind him. Now, Le'Veon Bell and Isaiah Crowell are light years apart, Double J. Okay? I'm just saying, in theory, what Hugh Jackson asked Deshaun Kizer to do was asinine. When you got to do, see, I started to say something I shouldn't be saying on the family show. When you got a dude behind you that's in a contract year, hungry to get touches so he can prove himself, if not to stay where he was at, but to show, you know what I'm saying? What do they say? You showcase him for somebody else or some other team now, dress rehearsal or whatever they call it. And Q didn't give him that chance, man, because of his arrogance or whatnot. You know what I mean? He had Kizer throwing the ball on average, man, 40-some times a game. And I get it. Some of them games, you ain't had no choice but to pass. I get all it. But I'm talking about before it got to that point. Okay, Isaiah was getting the ball 4 times, and Kizer was throwing the ball 44 times. That ain't going to be the case with the Jets. Adam Gase know better. He not going to have Sam Darnold chucking the ball all over the field is what I'm telling you. He going to make sure that he get the ball in Le'Veon's hands. Matter of fact, didn't he address that, Double J? Adam Gase did his press conference, said something about, they going to get him the ball 100 times if they have to. I'm picking the Jets. Brother Rich, you disagree or agree with me? No, maybe, sometimes, how not?
No, I'm definitely riding with the Jets on this one, and I'll call 2 words, Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah.
He has something to prove. He's out to show that Pittsburgh did him wrong, that year that he sat out was all the naysayers, everyone that doubted him for what he's done. He gambled, if you will, on himself, and I think he's about to cash in at the window.
Yeah, and you know what, Rick, we coming back to you because I do want to say this or put this out there. You know, the Bills do have, because we talked about Allen, but I forgot that I had this here in my notes, and I do want to mention that. You know, they got T.J. Yeldon, Frank Gore, and Shady McCoy. Now, you add Allen to that mix, that see, I don't trust the defense, though. You know what I mean? But that could be enough to unseat the Patriots as constant reigning division champs. Could be. Double J? What you think about that trio?
No, I'm going to disagree. Because you're simply not going to have too many sets with both running backs out there.
No, that's three.
Yeldon.
Yeah, go ahead.
But again, what are you going to put one in a fullback as well? And
well, hold that thought. Yeah, you could, and you know why you could put one at fullback? And it would be, of course, my boy.
What are your wing T?
No, you could. Yeah, why not run the wing T? Why not? They do the read option or whatever they call that. Lamar Jackson ran the ball for the Ravens last year 622 million times. You know what I mean? The Ravens knew better than to put him in a bad spot, but I'm going to tell you why, going back to the Bills, why they could have all three theoretically in the game and using one as a fullback. And that one would be, of course, none other than the Miami Hurricane, former, that is, Frank Gore. He was built for it. The man, many would say, is built like Patrick Willis at running back. But go ahead, Double J. I digress. Go ahead and finish your thought.
Well, you may see all three because two of which might get hurt, during one game.
Stop it. There you go, Double J. What is with you today, man? You been eating some of them branded new chips, or what did you call them? You been eating some of those? Brother Rich. Man, get your boy, man. He off the chain right now. Double J is off the chain, baby. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, I don't want to see you here in Cleveland no more, man, for no parades or nothing. You cannot come here. No. You got to stick with
No, my pass on the Claire is valid for another year.
Yeah, you got to stick with the Lions. Sorry. And Matt Patricia. No? You don't want to do that? All right, well, it's all to the good. So you're saying it's only going to be two at a time. No wing T, right, in Buffalo. Okay. So who would the two be of the three I mentioned? Well, you know Shady McCoy.
Here's the thing. Exactly. In that, you bring up a very good point. As the problem with Shady McCoy is that it's going to be third name because of that O-line. It's not to discredit him necessarily, but that they have not done anything to rebuild that line. They went and they got a quarterback, and then they got another quarterback, and they instead, they have nobody to throw the ball to. Essentially, you're basically telling everyone, we're going to try to run through a brick wall, and it's just not going to work. And then you're going to throw Yeldon in there when everybody knows that, hey, it's third and 8, they're going to pass. So look for the dump down for the screen pass.
Yeah, and are we just not giving the Dolphins a chance at all? No, nobody for the Dolphins.
They're not getting any chances from me. No chances from me.
Nobody for the Dolphins. Who Double J? Who they get at quarterback? I thought I had that on here. Who?
For Miami?
Yeah, for the Dolphins. Who they get?
It's the other. Well, now that they got rid of everyone.
Well, yeah, right. Yeah. Well,
so it's Rosen.
That's right. I just said that. Yeah, I just said Rosen. Duh. Right. Yeah, that's the senility kicking in. It never fails to not show up during one of these programs. I wish the folks out there listening would please forgive me, but hey, keep on living. I tell you. Yeah, Rosen. Yeah. Yeah, and I don't think Rosen will be much of a factor down there in Miami, but it is warm. And, people don't go to Miami. Well, they do go to play the football, but they don't go to play the basketball, but they go there more so for the scenery. You got me? Yeah, for the scenery. Yeah, so we're just leaving the Dolphins out of this. So this last one before we get up out of here goes back to the Patriots. And here's something I found kind of interesting, even though most folks already knew this, but I want to mention this and I want to ask this question off of it. 17 division championships. 15 seasons of 11 or more regular season wins, Hey, noise in the background, please. Thank you very much. If you can avoid it, I appreciate that. 9 AFC championships and 6 Super Bowl championships. Is it fair to say not only are the Patriots once again, and some might say unfortunately, repping the AFC in this upcoming Super Bowl, but ain't nobody beating them no time soon? And the question I really have in addition to that is it Brady or the system? Brother Rich?
The combination of them both, and that's exactly what I agree with you on. Nobody's beating them. I mean, again, they have a system, but it's not just a system. They have a coach that ensures that system is followed through. Their front office, their everything about their personnel management, everything about the culture of that organization. And certainly they have one of the best quarterbacks that has ever played the game of football. And all their players are committed to team-oriented goals. There is without a doubt in anyone's mind that they will at least be in contention to be and are absolutely the team to beat in that division.
Double J, what say you?
I'm going to completely agree with what Brother Rich just pointed out, that, look, we both can give out game plans and say this is a foolproof way to win a game, but someone has to go and execute it. And that's easier said than done. There's a reason why you don't hear about the New York Jets having all of those championships when you had Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick there.
Interesting. Yeah, well, yeah, and it's the reason why when the Browns had Bill Belichick, they didn't get one either. You know what? Double J, I'm gonna stay with you on this because I said that was the last one, but I got 2 more here. I'd like to throw at you. Who do you see as being Brady's successor, and will that happen anytime soon? Well,
it's interesting you point that out because I was thinking about that, and I don't think the person's there yet. You've seen others, everyone from Jacoby Brissett to Matt Flynn, all these other, people that have been these flash in the pan. But ultimately, we're going to hit a point here pretty soon where you're going to have a Joe Montana, Steve Young kind of moment, or dare I say, a Bledsoe Brady moment.
What? No way.
Oh yeah.
All right, well, I'm going to throw it to you now right quick, Brother Rich. You see Brady as having a successor anytime soon?
Nope, absolutely not.
Or does he play till he's 70?
Well, I think he plays until he gets ready to not play anymore. I think that they certainly are going to draft someone, but the idea even of successor, I think that they are going to be in a situation, unfortunately, like the Lakers were during the Kobe Bryant, the era of Kobe Bryant, in that the franchise has to accept that perhaps the year after this great one retires, we have to rebuild after that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. If it's the system or if it's Brady, I think it's a combination of both. And as long as them two stay joined at the hip, you could get another 2 or 3 years out of it or whatnot. Because the rules are Brady protected, could I say that? No, maybe on TV? No, not on ESPN for sure, right? Not with all the backlash they getting. Yeah, I don't see nobody replacing the Patriots, and of course I see the Patriots winning again. But like I just said a few minutes ago, I think that the one team in that division that could possibly shock most people, because it would be shocking, is the Jets. I think they're kind of putting together something that they kind of built for it. But you know what, too? I want to throw this out there as well. Which team, Bills, Jets, or Dolphins, should just go ahead and tank right now before training camp ends? Double J?
I'm going to go Miami.
Yeah, I was kind of leaning that too. Brother Rich, what about you?
Miami. They're tanking right now, I guarantee you.
Yeah. Rick, what you say? Who should tank the season right now, the Jets, the Dolphins, or the Bills? Well, you already kind of said the Bills.
I'll say Miami as well.
Miami? Yeah, I kind of figured everybody it was unanimous. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sort of like that some fights we just watched not too long ago. Should have been unanimous. All right, fellas, I appreciate y'all for joining me on this show today, man. Everything went swelly-yell, you know what I mean? Man, y'all be surprised how long we was going for today. And on that note, it's been fun, but we got to run. We appreciate y'all for listening. Don't forget to check us out right here on the Spreaker.com network. You go to the search box and you type in the Shop Report. Or you can check us out on Facebook, iTunes, Twitter, and, of course, via email, the shopreport365@gmail.com. And I say iTunes, but they call it an Apple Podcast now, which is a little bit better, actually. So you can check us out there. And we're on Spotify as well. And if all know none of that work and whatnot, you want to send us a message on our Facebook fan page, The Shop Report, please do so. Leave any questions, comments, show topics or whatnot, and what have you. We gladly accept them all. And if that don't work, Google it for my guests. My man from the NYC, a.k.a. Rucker Park, Brother Rich. My man from up north, Joey James, a.k.a. Double J. And last but not least, my cousin, the boxing extraordinaire, Tariq Rockmore. That's Roquemore. And all those who follow us on social media, we say thank you for your support. Excuse me, I'm Barbershop Jay, and you've been listening to the Shop Report. And remember, the next time y'all want to know what's really going on, man, come to the shop. Walk-ins are always welcome. Holla.